Hi everyone, my name is Mabel Reimer and I am a social worker with McMahon Calgary, and I'm also a DBT skills training facilitator. So DBT stands for Dialectical Behavioral Therapy. So that's a really big and somewhat intimidating title for a specific treatment that works with a lot of different mental illnesses. And there's a really specific portion of DBT called the skills training that's all about teaching and learning skills and basic skills to cope with life. These are skills around mindfulness, managing your emotions, dealing with relationships, and getting through crisis without making the situation worse. So at McMahon, we have a DBT skills training program where we run groups in the community, at schools. Sometimes we go into organizations and teach the staff the skills. Really anything around these skills, any way that you want to learn it, is something that our program is up for creating and facilitating. So given our current COVID-19 crisis and the fact that many of us are isolating at home, I think DBT skills are more important now, at least in my life, than they have ever been. And I'm so grateful that I have them. So I wanted to share some DBT skills that I've been using a lot that I think are really pertinent to getting us through this crisis and managing our mental health at the same time. So the first one I'm going to talk about today is called pace breathing. Now, pace breathing is not a specific skill in DBT on its own. It actually comes at the end of a skill called TIP, and that's what the P in TIP is for. So pace breathing is all about slowing and really deliberately slowing our breathing down. Okay, we want to breathe out more than we want to breathe in. That's kind of the ticket to not hyperventilating with this one. So it's all about learning to do this in a slow, regulated pace for about 1 to 2 minutes. And when we do that, what happens is it slows our nervous system down, essentially. I'll spare you all the scientific details that I think are really exciting, but when we are in fight or flight, which is when our body's really amped up and ready to go, when we're in a crisis or when we're highly escalated, when we do pace breathing at that point, what it does is it signals the other nervous system in our body, the kind of rest or digest one, to come in and to slow everything down. And so it really just helps us calm down and kind of get a grip on ourselves. So what I love about this is that given our current situation, there's so many unknowns, so much certainty and fear and worry, and all of that is absolutely normal right now. However, what that means is that a lot of us are kind of at this level of almost being in fight or flight a lot during the day, right? Some of you might experience it kind of more in like ebbs and flows and waves, and others of you might feel like you're kind of always at this, this edge of being in fight or flight, at this edge of being kind of out of control and ready for something. And so pace breathing brings you down, right? So you can use it when you feel like I'm really at that edge, or you can just use it kind of throughout the day to help keep yourself calm and regulated. You can't do this one too much. Okay, so this is something, however, that you do need to practice a little bit. So I'll show you kind of how I do it. My count is 4 breaths in, 6 counts out. Okay, so it's like this. I would do that for a minute or two at minimum. You want about 6 to 12 cycles to really get into pace breathing, and you will immediately feel just calmer and a little bit slower in your body. Really helps take the edge off if you feel like you're kind of on the edge of a panic attack or an anxiety attack. So that's pace breathing. Check that out. I hope it helps you. I'm using it many times a day